0-1 delivery in there for a strike.
Yeah, Casey Gass still out there. Looking like he's just going to finish this thing off. Obviously will not be available Sunday, probably Monday or Tuesday at this point if the Dodgers, that's of course if the Dodgers get that far and it can advance past that Sunday game where they'll most likely be heading down to Gaithersburg to take on the Giants, but nothing final there yet.
Now that score now 8-1. Runners at second and third for the Giants, just one away. So it's becoming increasingly likely that we will be down in Gaithersburg on Sunday as the 2-1 pitch missing well outside, and I think Casey just needs to say that ball slipped out of my hand. You know what? That slipped out of my hand. I can't hold the baseball. Just call the game at this point. Everybody get out of the rain. We'll get to go home a little bit early, get some good sleep before Saturday. Foul ball over by the dugout of the Redbirds. And we'll come back ready to play against the Gaithersburg Giants, a team that the Baltimore Dodgers kind of let walk all over them the last time they played. The breaking ball here is going to miss outside and run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. 16-4 the loss the last time they played the Gaithersburg in Gaithersburg. However, you have to imagine you're going to be seeing Josh Hedgeka taking on the Giants in that game, so I wouldn't expect a 16-run outburst on Sunday.
Yeah, Hedgeka, today's scheduled starter originally, but with the Dodgers clinching last night and knowing how unlikely it was they could move up too far in the standings, going with Wei Pin Chang and now Casey Gast here today.
3-2 pitch. And swung on, hit on the ground to second. Austin James up with it. His throw to first is in time to retire Laney Orr, and we've got one away here in the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, good job by Gast. He's just looking for outs. Any way you can get him, you want to get 3 outs. Give your team that one last hope, down by 5 runs to try and do something. But if not, you go home, you rest up for a day, and you get ready for the Giants.
Kamen Richardson coming to the plate in jeopardy of losing his 4-game hitting streak. He's hitting 5 of his last 6, 4 in a row. And he's 0 for here today. A couple of walks, a fielder's choice, and a fly ball out to right. That score in Gaithersburg now 9-1. First delivery will miss to Richardson. And he's going to foul one off out of play over by the batting cages down the first base line. And Zach Seal decides he wants to go over and hit the fence. He wants to feel like he's playing a little bit. Well, 1 ball and 1 strike to count on Kamen Richardson. 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning, the set. And Casey Gass delivers again, another foul ball over by the batting cages. Didn't use those today. We kind of fell out of our routine here this week as we had a couple doubleheaders, and just the way that the doubleheaders work, there's not a lot of time to do our normal videos and pregame interviews and things of that nature. So what we typically do in those games is just set up and call the game. So today we actually got to do that as a breaking ball just missing the outside corner. Casey Gast exasperated at the no call by the home plate umpire there, as he thought he had the strikeout of Kamen Richardson to end his hit streak. 11 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Redbirds. And there's the hit streak continued as the ball is lined into right field by Richardson. And they've got a runner on with 1 away. 6 runs, 7 hits, 4 errors to complete that thought for the Baltimore Dodgers. As Christian Long will come to the plate. He's 2 for 4, single and a double, and an RBI today. He's having himself a pretty nice day batting in that 9 hole against a pair of lefties today. The Dodgers throwing out there. Fastball is going to miss up and away by Gast, who's a little frustrated with himself, and now the rain coming a little bit harder. I'm wondering how hard it has to come for you guys to be able to see it on the screen. I think I can see it in the lights a little bit on the TV screen, and I think, well, the first base umpire saw Casey Gast kick his foot, and I'm wondering if he thinks he sees if Casey did that because of dirt on his foot and not just that he was upset with himself, because I think that's what it was. He kicked his foot because he was upset with the pitch, but I think the home plate umpire thinks he had mud in his cleats, and he was getting ready to call the game, which now the rain is absolutely coming down in sheets. And that is not a pun about the third base coach.
Well, the rain is coming down in sheets and also coming down on sheets.
That's a good one. I'm sad I didn't think about that myself. 2-ball, no strike pitch, and that's up and away. At this point, honestly, if I'm Derek, I'd say, hey, let's just call it. And seeing some signal from the Dodger dugout. We've got some time, and the first base umpire's coming down and yelling something. I don't know what the conversation is. I mean, right now we've got Derek Brown out with the umpires, and well, it looks like we're going to continue to play ball, and it's an interesting conversation. I guess he wanted to ask Derek if he wanted to stop the game. I mean, it's probably not going to take too much longer until we do, with the way the rain is coming down. But with a runner at first base, one away, a 3-0 count, all it's going to take is one batter to get hit by a wet fastball, and that's going to stop the game rather quickly. He said multiple times this game not meaning anything. Throw over, and taking second base on the steal is Kamen Richardson. He was actually picked off, but the throw not over fast enough. And I think that's going to do it. As Derek Brown coming out, he's telling the umpires just to call it at this point in time. The Dodgers trailing by 5. The game means nothing at this point, and they're just going to call the game. We're not even going to wait to see what happens. The Dodgers lose this one. Kind of an anticlimactic end. The Dodgers lose this one in 8 by a score of 11-6. The Dodgers, however, we're pretty sure we know where we're going. We're not 100% sure, as Gaithersburg is up 9-1 in the top of the 8th inning. So chances are the Dodgers are going to Gaithersburg. Well, no, I'm sorry, they lost. So they are going to Gaithersburg because of the loss here tonight and the sweep by the SS Tacoma T-Bolts. So that's going to do it for us here at Joe Cannon Stadium. The Dodgers lose this by a score of 11-6 to the Baltimore Redbirds, unfortunately failing to get the first series win over the Dodgers in their history. But the silver lining is they got things to happen around the rest of the league, and they're going to be playing in Gaithersburg on Sunday with a chance to potentially get into the divisional round and maybe a championship round.
Yeah, it would be obviously the first time they get into any other round because, well, it's the first time they're making the playoffs. But, you know, obviously a good call as well by Derek Brown just to end this game. I mean, it means nothing at this point with the Dodgers down by 5 runs and the Giants now leading at 9-1. So a good call there. And now the Dodgers can set it up on Saturday, get their rest, and then get Josh Hedgeka to the mound. And I think the other good thing that they have set up, Mark Michael, he's really been in the starting rotation for the second half of the season. But for that first half, he was used as really a long reliever, a guy who has pitched very well against this Redbirds team out of the bullpen, can pitch 4 or 5 innings out of the pen. So you have Michael ready out of the bullpen in this one-game playoff where anything goes. You see it in the MLB wildcard games where you might have a starter come out in the 5th inning out of the bullpen because you just need to use your best pitchers. And then to finish it off, you have John Sikowski ready as well. So I think pitching-wise, the Dodgers have it all set up like they'd want on Sunday.
Yeah, you definitely want to get your best guys out there, and maybe they're thinking instead of Michael, they go Sikowski, because Sikowski's been the best out of the bullpen for them. But you said Michael, like you said, Michael has had some good innings there. You can't think too far ahead. This is me thinking, maybe Monday, if depending on what the score is, what you go with. You don't want to use Michael if you can use him on game one Monday. Obviously, when you're going to have to be taking on, at this point, probably you're going to end up taking on, if you win, a team like the Redbirds or the Big Train. You're going to want to save Michael, but basically it's devil may care once you get to Monday. That's the idea. You got to get to Monday somehow and just let the cards fall how they may. Well, I'm going to hurry up and get this camera down as the rain is absolutely coming down. It was a perfect time to call this game. One final time here from Joe Cannon Stadium. The Baltimore Dodgers lose 11-6 to the Baltimore Redbirds, but they will be going to Gaithersburg on Sunday to play their very first ever playoff game. For Connor Newcomb, Joey White, Billy Goheen, the rest of the Baltimore Dodgers staff and coaches and players, we want to thank you for listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball and look forward to seeing you on Sunday.